Hi guys, I haven't done a shopping log or a haul video or just a video in general for quite some time now, and I thought why not do one now, because lately my dad and I have been thrift shopping a lot, which are secondhand stuff. I bought some secondhand stuff on a Belgian website as well, and I've gone to Paris with my boyfriend where we bought some stuff. So I thought, why not make a shop log slash haul video? Don't know how I'm going to call it at the moment, but you'll guys see. So let's get right into it. All these things come from 4 different places, and I'm going to start with the second-hand store or the thrift shop where I got some stuff. It's not all the stuff I got, but it's the only important stuff for this channel. First up, it's this CD of the K3 of K3 Love Cruise movie, and it contains 12 songs. Some known ones are Pina Colada and Disco Oma. For those who aren't Belgian or Dutch, you guys probably won't know this, but it's a girl group, and this is the 3rd generation because the members have changed over the years because some members wanted to quit, and it's from the same creators as Het Anubis, Amika, Ghost Rockers, and so on. And this CD is one of the only ones I didn't have of this generation, which was the redhead Hanne, in the middle Marte, and the blonde, which is Glaasje. And this is not my fave generation of the pop group, but I do enjoy them, and this movie was really fun. So why not buy the CD, especially if it's cheap at a thrift store. Then another CD, which is this one. It's called Studio 100 TV Hits, so Studio 100 TV Hits, and it was from 2009, and it's basically all the popular songs from the creation company or the production company back then. It also has songs from K3, but there you see the 1st generation, which is my fave. Kabouterplop, Piep Piraat, Mega Mindy, and of course some songs from Het Anubis, which was very popular at the time. The Het Anubis songs were Het Pad der 7 Zonden or Path of 7 Sins, the main titled song of season 1, and Hey, which is a love song Nienke writes about Fabian on the inside. Those CDs were always very cheap, but I never got them back in the day, but I do have them now secondhand. And then the final DVD from the 1st store, and just a CD from the 1st store and the 1st thrift shop haul in general, is the Amika limited edition CD. It's not that limited, but you could get it with a magazine back in the day, and that time was 2011, and I thought it was really special. But the cool thing about this is that you have a little book, and in that book you can find what the show is about, which is, for those who don't know, a girl who loves horses, who starts working on a manege, we say, so where horses are stalled, and she wants to save the big white horse, turned around for now, because he's being mistreated, and they form a bond, and eventually she's going to ride a horse and so on. It's a really good show. If you're Belgian or Dutch, it's available on Catnet and streams, so if you really want to rewatch it. It's also being shown on Catnet again, which is a TV channel, and it's really nostalgic and still good. Then you have the lyrics of the songs and some pictures with other cast members as well. So yeah, that's pretty much the little book in the CD. Then on the back, Dag Allemaal was the magazine, and then you have all the CDs they brought out during that collection as well. And I have the Het Anubis one as well, but I've had that one for years. So I really like this one. I haven't played it yet, but I'm going to. So that was the first thrift store haul. Then I'm going to show you something I ordered online on bol.com, which is a Dutch website that's also available in Belgium. And that website has new stuff, secondhand stuff, but like everything you can imagine, from DVDs to CDs and books, what I usually buy, to like fashion, like a hairdryer, everything you can imagine is available on the website, and I really adore the website, and I've been ordering on it for like the past 10 years, so it's perfect. And I got this, which is something I'm used to watch as a kid. And I know I say I used to watch as a kid a lot. For Hotel Anubis, that's correct, but this, when this aired, I think because the DVDs are younger, it aired in 2004 until like 2006, and then they had some movies. But I was, let me think, like 5 years old when it came out, or 4 or 5 years old. Don't know the date it began airing, but I was really, really, really small when it started airing. And I remembered it pretty much because I love animals. And Zoop, which is like zoo and then a P, God knows why, is basically a teen or kids soap opera where all these people on the front, they're going to study in a zoo to become rangers, as they call it, but animal caretakers basically, or advanced livermore, you could say. And they get to live in a side compartment of the zoo to properly train themselves. And one of them is 16 and the others are like 18 to 20, give or take. So it's basically their college years, but in a zoo. And I didn't remember much. I remembered some of the actors because most of those actors became proper presenters on Nickelodeon Netherlands, which was also shown in Belgium. So I knew their faces, and like Amber from Huis Anubis and Nienke from Huis Anubis used to present some of those Nickelodeon shows with some of these people as well. So I definitely knew them, you know? But I had forgotten completely what this was about, besides them taking care of animals. But I started rewatching and I was like, the quality online sucks, and started looking for better quality. And then I discovered that the first DVD box of 5 DVD boxes, which contains 72 episodes, was only like 16 euros. And I was like, I'm buying that. That's 1 hour of work for me. I'm buying that. So yeah, I hope to find the other DVD boxes that cheap as well, and the movies as well, but we'll see. I'm just finishing this one, and then I'm going to see if I'm still interested in it. If not, I'm taking it to a thrift shop. If I still am, I'm going to collect the other ones as well. But it's difficult in Belgium because one, it's really, really old, and two, it was more prominent in the Netherlands because Nickelodeon just come to Belgium when this began airing. And I feel like the hype back then was more in the Netherlands, while at Huis Anubis it was also in Belgium. But like, I did watch it and my dad loved it as well, so I guess it was popular here as well, but I don't have the memory of it anymore. Which is sad because I probably binged this as much as Huis Anubis because it's been so long, I don't remember. But this show, even though it has its typical kid show plot lines, it was quite adult, you could say, because in like the first episode they hint at sex and such things, which, okay, our shows have always been more adult. You're allowed to swear in kid shows here. They're hinting at sex sometimes, and kissing is like, it's not just a peck, it's like really kissing. But straight up talking about sex is something I've never seen as much, and I think that was just the early 2000 vibes where everything was still allowed. I do notice in the new shows now that's a lot less, which I dislike because it doesn't hurt to know about such things at a young age, because then it becomes something normal and something you talk about when you're a little older, a little bit easier. And like everyone of my generation and my boyfriends who's a year younger, well, a year and a half younger, but it's like a change you noticed. Like none of them were really bothered by this. We all got through it and no one came out worse because we knew about the stuff at a young age. And I think we like to keep kids now when it comes to that, but not when it comes to violence, while it was the other way around with us. So yeah, maybe a weird take, but here in Belgium and in the Netherlands, it's more known, you could say, that swearing and sex and saying stuff that isn't okay anymore isn't as a big deal as it probably is in America or in England. So yeah. But like the first DVD box is pretty much the beginning, because the seasons were a little bit weird. You had season 1, which was like 170 episodes, give or take. Then you had season 2, which was just 60. And we had a movie. Then we had another season, which was again 150 episodes, give or take. Then we had another 2 movies. And the cast announced last month that they're creating a reunion movie next year. So that's nice. But like, yeah. But basically, in this first DVD box, they get to meet one another, and you immediately see that there are bonds being formed, but people are being annoyed by each other. Because, like usual, if I'm going to, you have the one who wants to become a singer, the boy, then you have like the rich girl who isn't really there to become a ranger, but she just wants to um, do the sea lion shows, which was a big thing back in the day in our zoos. Then you have like the cool boy with a secret, the weird, quiet, shy girl who is like, I think, because I don't remember, and I'm like 18 episodes in, she speaks to animals, I guess. That's the vibe I get. But like she understands them. But she's interested in the cool boy, you know, the typical stuff. Then you have like the guy who's a little bit lazy but means well and wants to be everyone's friend. The punk girl who's a little bit weird and comes from the wrong side of the tracks there in the Netherlands. And then you have the big nerd who knows everything better than even the caretakers do. And then you have the girl who's only 16 while the others are like 18 and 20. And she really wants to be as big as them. But because her mom lives in the zoo, she doesn't get there as much as the others do. They don't get involved as much with her. So yeah, pretty much that. And the back. And there's also an exclusive trailer of the last movie they created back in 2007, I think. So on the inside, one of the DVDs is in my player. But that's actually ideal because now I can show you the back. And then in here you have some commercialing, commercialing for the last movie that was going to come out in cinemas back then. Yeah, so far I've really enjoyed it. One thing that does bother me, but I feel it'll get better because at the beginning you could see there was very low budget, is that you have cliffhangers like all those soap opera style shows Studio 100 created does. But in the end, they don't follow up on it. So when I stop watching, like in the evening or if I'm going somewhere, because I watch it on the train to Paris as well, and then suddenly they quit, and then the next episode starts with a completely different scene, and they just talked about what happened in the last episode, and I'm like, did I skip one? And then I go back and I didn't. That's one thing that bothers me, but I feel that'll change because you can see it's very low budget at the beginning. A lot of those people are still famous now, especially in the Netherlands, not really here, which I enjoy. Because like The Mole, which is this big program in Belgium and the Netherlands, and I think there will be an American version soon as well, which is like a group of people go on vacation, but it's a game show, and they have to do tasks there, and they have to find out which one in the group is like fucking everything up. That's pretty much it. And the one who guesses it's the one who knows by the end, who knows the most questions or answers about the person who is the one disrupting everything, who is the traitor basically, or the mole, wins. That's pretty much it. But like, then we'll continue with what I bought in Paris. That's something completely different. I bought one of it at a comic book store and the other stuff at Fnac, which is a multimedia slash bookstore where I work in the Belgian one. So first up, I bought 3 books at Fnac. The first one is Don't You Forget About Me by Mari McFarlane. And it's a girl, I have to read because it's been a while, who was fired from a restaurant and who found out that her boyfriend cheated with someone else. So she gets to work somewhere else, and then it turns out that that's someone she had a date with a long time ago who said he loves her, or in a way, I love your love, and he has forgotten about her. So that's pretty much the book. It's a romance book. All my books are usually romance or light fantasy. Then this is a more known book. It's The Deal, which is the first part of the Off-Campus Briar U series by Al Kennedy. and it's a hockey romance about the bad boy wanting to date the nerdy girl, and it's the biggest cliche ever. But those books are known for being amazing, especially if you write like the sport genre and the romantic genre, and I do. So I'm really curious to read this. And then the last book I got there is Love and Gelato by Jenna Evans Wells. And I believe there's a movie or a series on Netflix on. I've never seen it, but I want to see it. And it's basically about a girl who spends her summer in Italy because she wants to relive her mom's glory days after she passed away, and wants to get to know her father there, who's never been in her life, just to find out what happened. And she falls in love probably because it's so typical. But I loved the cover of this, and it's really soft. It's a different paper than usually, and it was very cheap. So that's the books I got, and then I got comic books. I'm not a big manga, anime, comics book reader, but one show that's considered an anime now, which I never saw as an anime, was Avatar The Last Airbender and Avatar The Legend of Korra, which was a hype around the same time as Jupiter's Anubis, so it's really nostalgic for me, but I have watched it over and over again recently. And I've bought a lot of those little comics that came out, but I've never fully got them because they're difficult to get here. And I found, first of all, this box, which is called the Team Avatar Treasury. So it's from The Last Airbender, and it's the comic stories of the 3 Avatar crew girls, the gang girls. And I've never found this one, and it was a box set, and it was so beautiful, and I had to buy it. The first one is Katara, who is going to join pirates to survive, and like the way it's drawn, it's exactly like the series, which I love, and Katara has always been my fave character, even though she gets hate now, like why? But I can't wait to read these. And the second one is about Toph, who's starting her metal bending academy, and like it's so perfectly drawn, and I love that as well. And then my fave underrated character of the gang, it's the story of Suki in the Boiling Rock prison, which is basically like Alcatraz in that world. And just like the drawings are so good, and I really adore this. And I was so happy when I saw it. This was the last one, and I saw other tourists looking at it, and then I was like, hold my bag to my boyfriend, I'm buying this one. It was quite expensive, but it was so worth it. And I also got this. On the back you can see that it's just some information, but then again some information. Like these are all of them, and I have pretty much like the beginning series, so the one of the promise and so on I have, but the recent ones aren't available here anymore. And then you get this poster as well. I don't think I'm putting it up right now, maybe when my boyfriend and I move out in the future, but I really, really love this. It's so, so pretty. And also just this, the gang and Appa. Oh, I love it. I also got this, and it's a final piece I got in Paris, which is the first book of The Legend of Korra. I didn't agree with the ending, and now, back in the day, I got called lesbian phobic for that. That's not the reason at all. I just didn't see chemistry between Korra and Asami, and it really turned me off of the series because I was such a huge Mako and Korra fan, because I've always loved the firebender versus waterbender, because I also was a Zutara shipper, so Zuko and Katara. So when they got together and then broke up for the most idiotic reason, then nearly got together as well, for in the end, in the very last minute, in my opinion, for the girls to end up together, which was symbolic in a way because the guys ends up with no one, you could say, and the girls get together. The girl, he didn't really cheat because Korra kissed him, but you get the point. But like, I just didn't see the chemistry, and it really, well, not scared me off the show, but I was like, no, I don't need to watch this right now. I need some time to just forget about it. And then I saw this one, so I never bought the Korra magazines. They aren't really available here as well, or at a normal price. And then I saw this one, and I thought, why not? Because the story looks interesting, and over the years I got to deal with the fact that my fave ship, or one of my fave ships as a preteen ever got together, which back then was the end of the world, but now when I'm 23, it's like, okay, tough luck, at least they were together for like 2 seasons. But yeah, I'm really curious to read this because I feel like The Legend of Korra has always been kind of underrated because people didn't like the way it was shown, and even though I think Nickelodeon, like the American Nickelodeon, is to blame because they had this beautiful masterpiece in The Last Airbender, which was thought out from point one to point zero. And then they wanted something new, which I understand, which I get, which is a good thing. But they only gave them 12 episodes to round up a full story. Then it got successful, but then they got to think of a totally new story. And in that regard, I feel like Nickelodeon messed up because these creators can create the most beautiful things. They're working on live actions now, on the new Avatar, on movies. So I feel like it's not their fault. It was choppy and kind of weird at times. But yeah, really curious to read about this. And I saw the next one, which is Runes of the Empire. My fave characters, which are Sammy and Mako, get brainwashed, and I'm like, I'm totally in. But they didn't have that one as an omnibus. They only had part 1 and part 3, so that's. I was like, we'll wait until we get somewhere where we can buy the omnibus. But I'm really curious to read this one, and I don't know when I will read all of this, to be honest. But yeah, that's everything I got in Paris, except for some souvenirs and so on. And I didn't buy as much in Paris as I thought I would. So that's a good thing because I bought all of this on day one. I was like, oh god, no. But I'm glad I did. And then the final things I picked up today, which are secondhand from an online store, but like with individual buyers, like we place sometimes stuff in there as well. And it's 6 DVDs I got for €6, which is nothing. And they're all of Studio 100 or Nickelodeon. I'm going to start with K3, the band from the first CD. And I have 2 generations. The first one is K3 in Ahoy. Ahoy is a big concert hall in the Netherlands. And it's basically one of their first big concerts of the first generation. So the redhead is Karen, which is my all-time fave of the group. Then you have Kathleen and Crystal. They were K3 for the longest, if I remember correctly. And they were K3 when I was growing up. So yeah, probably has something to do with that as well. And it's basically a show. They put together a concert, and you have several of their songs, but like many of their songs. And it also includes a making of. So I'm really hyped to watch this. Then, because it got so popular, the girls decided to, well, they did in Studio 100, decided to create movies and musicals with them in the lead roles as well. And one of those is K3 and the Princess of Ice. I've never seen this one, so I'm really curious to watch it. Oh, I didn't show the inside of this one. Ta-da! So you already had a new show. And then on the back you have this one, which came out around that time. And this one is about basically the girls get an invitation of a king and a queen of a magic realm. And they're allowed to sing on the birthday party of the princess. And that's basically it. And then a lot of stuff happens. But like, I've never seen this, so I'm really curious to watch it. And then on the inside, you can collect a lot of K3, so you have all musical fairy tales where a lot of them played in, and then you have some of their shows. And here on the back, you can see all the movies, so the Magic Medallion, this one, and then the Cat Prince, and then Sing and Dance with K3, a quiz game of K3, and a game based on this movie. And then the final K3 thing I got is from the second generation. So Kathleen, the blonde one from before, decided to leave. They created a show because they needed a new member, and the public chose her, which is Yoshi. This is my least fave generation because I didn't vibe with Yoshi, and I still don't, but I'm really curious. to watch this show because it was the first show where she came, and at the beginning I liked her, but recently I noticed they were trying to replicate the original magic and it didn't work, and we also learned that she broke up the group, which I didn't like. So yeah, and you can see on the back it's basically to show how she got there and that they introduce her as a new K3 member and they sing songs at the same time. And on the inside you can see a lot of merch with K3 is complete again. So you have a puzzle, you have a friends book, as we call it. I don't know if that's a typical Belgian thing, but you'll have friends fill in stuff about themselves. Lunchbox, CD, which I still need, and the special how they got to be together again, and then a poster. So yeah. Then the final stuff. I got this one because I usually don't buy DVDs of seasons without the other parts, but I had the second part of Spring, which is also from Studio 100, and it's a show about a band and a dancing school, so a bit soap opera as well. And I got the one of the season 2 parts DVDs because I got the other one. I haven't watched the other one yet because I don't have the first one. Like, I don't know why, but it was €1 and it was like, Spring is really difficult to find, and if I ever want to be nostalgic, I can find it. And as you can see, I have the first 2 DVDs now, but not the other ones. And so this is basically the whole thing. I think it lasted 6 seasons, but like you can't find them anymore because it's as old as Zoop, I think even a little bit older. So yeah, it's difficult to find. But I saw this band, they got back together as a reunion last year. And I saw them again, and it was amazing, and I nearly cried. It was that good. But yeah, a few episodes of that. Then I got the big Sinterklaas show, which is a Dutch and Belgian holiday. A little bit like Christmas, but it's on the 5th or the 6th of December, depending on which country you are. And I'm not a fan of this holiday at all. I never really was, to be honest, even though we get gifts and chocolates and so on. But in this show, we have some of my fave Studio 100 characters, like you have Amika, you have K3 who are coming to play, and that's the reason I bought it, to be honest. And again, €1, and then on the inside you can see a lot of merch of its Studio 100. But like, because they are performing, it's the reason I bought. I don't remember if Anubis is in this one as well. I'm checking. Don't think so. This was 2010. Even though I think the 5 could have performed at this one. But I don't see their names immediately. Yeah, they could have performed in this one as well. But yeah, they didn't, I think. But it's just, I buy these for the performances, not for the whole holiday thing. And then the last thing brings us back to Zoop. I got the Zoop in India, which is, I believe, the first movie. The Rangers, I don't know much. I don't want to spoil myself, so I'm not going to read the back. But basically, after, I think, season 2, the Zoop Rangers are called to India because they have to solve something with an elephant, I think. But like, I remember these movies very vaguely, and my dad remembers them well, and he said the movies were amazing. And I've seen the trailers because on the DVD box you have the Zoop in South America trailer, and they actually went there to shoot this, so they went here as well, and I'm really curious to see it. And on the back there's also a lot of extras. I miss the days that DVDs were filled with extras, and there's something inside of here, and now I'm quite curious. Is it a poster? Oh my god, I haven't opened this yet. Oh my god. Oh my god. So, let me see. It's like passports of them. Of all the characters. For their like... Yeah, it's some questions of what they like. It's what they used to like at school, what they like doing, favorite animals and so on. So I'm going to try. But it's all the other way around because I think you had to cut it out. But like, you have pictures of them, and then you have information about them. Yeah. So base, that's nice. Then you also have, and their autographs. That's really cool. Then you have a free ticket to the zoo in the Netherlands where they shot this series. It was shot at an actual zoo with actual animals. Oh my god. This ticket is from 2006. I wonder because there isn't an expiration date yet on it. If I go to that zoo and I'm like, hey, I found this, can I still come in? I think they have to because there isn't an expiration date on it. Nope. But like, I want to visit that zoo someday, but it's like high up in the Netherlands compared to where I live. Then you could win a part in the new movie. And then on this side you can get a discount on the books from the making of. God, why did they make this so difficult? Why didn't they just put it in a little book? And then you have a postcard. You can get the Zoop game on your phone, and we're speaking from about those type of phones, so it's old. And then this basically, they call it the backpack filled with surprises, so yeah, because I made it like a suitcase. And then you can get bracelets that cost more as well. And there used to be, oh my god, perfume, toilet spray, deodorant, hairspray, oh my god, gel, and shower cream with them on it for boys and girls. Like, it's perfect commercially because I'm still buying all this merch right now, but like, why did they do that? Like, it's amazing. If a kid sees something with their favorite stuff on, they buy it. I still don't know, but like, why? And then on the inside, you get information of the cast, what they do. My favorite members are, because these pictures are a lot easier to point out. So far, I'm nearly at episode 20 of season 1. And my faves so far are like the bitch, Bionna, even though she remains quite bitchy, I've read. I really enjoy her because Nickelodeon is such a fun actress and I really like her. And then the cool boy Mike is one of my faves as well. And then Elisa, the one who talks to animals. Those are my faves at the moment. Nobody really annoys me, but like those are my clear faves. But yeah, I'm really curious to watch this now, but I can't yet. And then the extras are a photo gallery with photos you can print out if you put it in your computer. It just shows how much technology has grown over the years, to be honest. And then you get the biography of the actors, and then you got this. That's everything you got. Yeah, no, I'm hyped with this. I did not expect it because the DVDs didn't feel particularly heavy or something, and I'm glad the person who sold it still had it in there because that's actually really cool. But like, this whole pile is everything I pretty much bought in February, and like I haven't had much time because I've been busy working, going to Paris, subbing the show as well. I'm, for those who know, and the show I mean the Five of the Magical Sword, spin-off of Anubis. I'm currently working on episode 21 to 30, and then we're midway season 2 already. Don't know when I will finish that. So yeah, I hope soon. And it just like, time flies, to be honest. Like, it still feels like New Year's Eve was yesterday, and we're nearly at the end of February, so my mind is blown. But like, I'm still rewatching Anubis season 1. I'm around time they have to organize a theme day. So I'm not so far from the end. I'm in like the second to last episode. But I haven't watched in a while because I'm watching Zuba at the moment. But like, damn, time flies. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed the shop block haul. You'll see whatever I call it. And I hope to see you next time. Bye!